Now, how about them damn Celtics?
We are back to another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording Monday, July 21st, except that's a lie. It's just me again, and this is not going to be a normal podcast. I'm sorry for the Tuesday people who tune in for full-length pods. It's been quite the day. I was on a flight from, I left my hotel at like 9 a.m. in the morning in Vegas time, and I landed 30 minutes ago, and I came home, and Sam is out right now as well. So I'm here recording to give you a quick 10-15 minute thing maybe on some news, and I apologize, and we'll get back to regularly scheduled programming this week, and then I go to the Cape and we'll get mixed up again. But we're doing our best. We're going to give you something every day. And sorry, it's not the full audio pod, but the Celtics are interested in Ben Simmons. And so that's what I'm going to talk about for 10 minutes today. Audio listeners, it may not be quite as compelling as our normal full shows. So I apologize to you, but I will pull up some Ben Simmons highlights and I will talk about it. And I'm sure Sam will have his takes when he gets on the show too. But per Mark Stein of the Stein Line Substack, sorry, I'm all over the place to start the video. The Celtics are one of a few teams showing an interest in Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons has drawn interest from New York, Sacramento, and Boston, alongside the Suns, who Mark Stein has said have had some recent dialogue with former All-Star Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons last played for the Clippers last year. Didn't play a ton, but after he was bought out or waived, or I think bought out by the Nets, he joined the Clippers, played 18 regular season games for them, only shot 43% from the field, averaging 3 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. In the playoffs, only played 5 games, 8 minutes. Wasn't really a contributor there. Averaged about 1-1-1. Didn't do too much. The last really impactful, if that's what you want to call it, season he had was probably Brooklyn in the 23-24 season. But even then, he only played 15 games. That's the Ben Simmons story, right? He played 51 games last season. He played okay with the Nets. He averaged 6 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists in 33 games played, starting 24 of them. That's not bad for him. 23-24 season, 6, 8, and 6 stats on 58% shooting. We only played 15 games. 42 games the year prior, 58 games the 2 years prior because he missed the 21-22 season due to holdout/back injuries. So that's just the Ben Simmons story at this point. He hasn't been an all-star since the 2020-2021 season. He was an all-star for 3 years in a row from 2018 to 2021. But since then, it's been bouncing around in and out of the lineup, I should say. He's been in Brooklyn for most of it. Spent the end of last season with the Clippers as they tried to make their little playoff run. Do I like it for the Celtics? No, of course not. I think there is a small part of me. I mean, one of my oldest and ridiculous takes was if you put prime Ben Simmons on the Bucks instead of Giannis, he wins an MVP award. And who knows? I mean, clearly he's not that type of player. I was wrong. That was when it was the full Ben Simmons hype train, when he was the best defender in the NBA, could guard 1 through 5. And at his peak, he was him. Don't get it wrong. Ben Simmons is not even close to the player he once was, but the player he once was a damn good player. But he's not that player. And there's very little hope that he will ever get back to being that player. The only saving grace in this move, if it were to happen, obviously this is just a rumor by Mark Stein, is that what's the worst that happens? It's not like the Celtics are in a position where they're going to be competing for a championship next year, by and large, knock on wood. I mean, you hope it can happen, but at this point, this seems just like a reclamation project. Ben Simmons is not getting any younger. Don't get me wrong. He's not 25 or 24 or one of these guys who you can bank on maybe, it can work with us. This is not the Lonnie Walker or the Josh Minot or the Luka Garzas of the world. This is not the guy that you say, oh, maybe we'll build him up. Maybe there's untapped potential there. This is the you trying to, going to the guy who has cheated on 4 women at once and saying we can fix him. Like that. That's what a Ben Simmons signing would be for the Celtics. He's 29 years old, and since they are not in a position to likely compete for a championship, this could be let's try to fix him. Maybe we can be the team to finally fix Ben Simmons. I don't think it'll happen. But if you look at the state of their center position, I don't think Ben Simmons wants to play center or would play center, but you could probably have him guard centers, right? You can put the ball in his hands in lineups with no real center on the floor, and he's the quote unquote real center. Theoretically, you could probably get away with a lineup of Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Sam Hauser, and Ben Simmons just had to guard the center. I'm not saying I want that to be the Celtics starting lineup. I'm not saying it should be. I'm not saying it would be if the Celtics did take this swing on Ben Simmons. I'm just saying adding him would definitely give you some defensive versatility, because for as disastrous as he is on offense and is crazily incapable he is of staying on the floor due to injuries, he's a damn good defender when he is on the floor. So that's something you can't really take away from him. I enjoy the playmaking hub, really tall guy types of players. I was talking about this with Bobby K and Noah on our trip to Vegas, like the Draymond Greens, the DeMontis Sabonises, the even like Royce O'Neal when he was playing with the Kyrie Nets with KD and James Harden playing as like that connector at the four. Josh Hart. In like the ideal world, Ben Simmons can do that, but he just never has been able to because he's been incapable of adapting to a role, or nor has he been able to stay on the floor in order to play it for long enough. Um, that said, like, what's the worst that happens? They sign him to a 1 year minimum and he's gone in a year. They sign him to a 1 year minimum, then just waive him halfway through the season. They give him a training camp deal, and truly, what is the worst possible thing that could happen if the Celtics did sign Ben Simmons? Like, I saw Stu Greeny had a funny tweet on it that I'll pull up and read. Stu Greeny quote tweeted something or discussed the Ben Simmons thing on the timeline today. And I believe he opened his tweet, and he tweeted a lot today. So I'll find this, or maybe it was last night. He said, "Fuck it. It would be hilarious. One, it would be hilarious for Sixers fans to see him be good as a Celtic. Two, if he stinks, he's the perfect tank addition. Either outcome works for me. I'm not exactly the Celtics should tank. I don't think they're going to be able to tank unless Jalen and or Derek and or Peyton end up getting hurt and you run into a Sixer situation like last year. And then whatever. Then maybe tank, maybe try to get to Bonds. It's fine. But like the worst case is he doesn't contribute to winning him and you don't play him. Like it's not like if you sign Ben Simmons, it's going to be for a $14 million MLE deal or a max contract. It's going to be a minimum, right? If he stinks, don't play him. Like it's really as simple as that. And then you can buy him out at the deadline or waive him at the deadline, or trade him at the deadline for nothing. Like there's really no downside to signing Ben Simmons to a minimum contract. Unless you're of the belief of just give those minutes to Luka Garza, just give those minutes to Miysh Keda, just give those minutes to Hauser, to Shireman, to Walsh. And you know what? I don't hate that mindset either. Like I to a degree, maybe that is the correct option. Maybe it's not worth signing Ben Simmons because you'd rather just give these young guys a look. But I do think what if he is able to give this team an extra connector, or what if he is willing to play a little bit of center, or you can test out lineups with no center and him on the floor? Like I don't know. I don't think they should do it. It's kind of honestly weird that they're even interested in something like this. It felt like their plan was very much let's take these younger guy swings up like Garza and Minot. And I mean, obviously got Anthony Simons in the Drew trade. So it hasn't felt like a season where they're willing to take on older vets, but maybe it's a similar vein. Maybe it's a reclamation project of sorts with Ben Simmons, just not this guy's had 2 years in the league. Let's see if we can finally break that untapped potential. But instead, let's see if we can dig under the piles of dirt that have been poured onto what was once a great NBA player and find him underneath there. So, like I said, I don't think the Celtics should sign Ben Simmons. I don't think they will. Honestly, I don't think Ben Simmons would choose the Celtics. If he is getting offers from Sacramento, Phoenix, and New York, why would he choose the Celtics? Like I would choose New York if I'm Ben Simmons. I can give you some backup 4 or 5 minutes, play a Josh Hart role, maybe give you some backup center minutes behind whoever they roll out there. I'm blanking as to who they got behind Karl Anthony Towns now, but I do think they did end up signing somebody because they Mitchell Robinson, obviously, duh. I knew I was forgetting somebody, but I think they actually did sign somebody else too. Or maybe, yeah, Gershon Yabusele. Maybe you can play some backup 4 or 5 minutes behind there. Even in Sacramento, like at least you have a clear outline of how the Kings would play with him. Just put him in for Sabonis. Let him do exactly what Sabonis does. I just don't know why he would choose the Celtics. So I don't think it'll happen, to be honest. Maybe would choose the Celtics to get as many minutes as he possibly can if he is healthy, so he can try to prove it, like a prove it deal. I don't think it should happen because I think it's a little silly. I now that I've had the whole thought process out of speaking it here, I think you should just give those minutes to the younger guys. Let Kata prove it. I mean, people who listen to this know I'm not the highest on Kata, but with as many opportunities he's inevitably going to get, I'm very intrigued to see what he can do with him, and I hope he ends up blossoming into this great player. I don't know. I truly don't know what Kata will be like if you give him regular minutes, but I do think the pressure of not having to win every night will give him the freedom to actually let it see or shine through, I should say. Give Josh Minot some 4 minutes. Give Sam Hauser plenty of minutes. Like Walsh, Shireman, Ugo. Like you want to open up those minutes for those guys. So I don't think Ben Simmons makes a ton of sense. If it happens, though, I don't think people should freak out. Like again, what's the worst that happens? The worst that happens is he's ass. Celtics have him on a minimum and they buy him out at the deadline. He goes somewhere else, and it is what it is. And he doesn't have to play because he's on a minimum. Like he's not, contractually obligated, which I don't even think is a thing, but something to keep an eye on. Again, very sorry for the shorter show today on a Tuesday. I know you guys are used to the longer pods, and we'll hopefully, get those back into the rotation as soon as possible when we're back on Eastern time schedules and I'm not traveling, etc. But appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time as we get rolling again. So goodbye.
Taco, come on. Taco.